It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. As always, got a great show planned for you today here on That Business Show. On the bottom of the hour, we're going to be hearing from Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company with the Remodeler's Corner, and he's also joined in studio with Charlie Palavita, Charlie the Plumber. If you've listened to the last few Remodeler's Corners, you've heard him on the airwaves, and I'm sure he'll make quite an interesting segment. So he's in studio here today, but don't have the microphone in front of him right now. He's over there saluting me and getting warmed up for the segment here on the bottom of the hour. In just a second, we're also going to be talking with Erin Cassidy. She is a title agent with Majesty Title and also chair of Emerge Tampa Bay, which is a great networking group out of the Tampa Chamber of Commerce focused on young professionals. So we'll be chatting with her here in just a moment on the first half of the show. I'd like to take a moment to invite you over to my website where you can learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com. Also, you can listen to the show on demand on the website. Just head over to the show info tab, and you'll see the podcasts as well as the streamcast. All the shows are streamed live, and also you can catch us by clicking on live stream on tampabayradio.com to see all the crazy antics going on here in the studio each and every morning. Also, I'm available on iTunes. Search for That Business Show to catch all the past shows. And catch me over on Facebook.com/That Business Show. Twitter under Jamie_Meloni. I'm going to bring on my first guest for the show. Erin Cassidy was born and raised in Long Island, New York, and moved to Tampa in 2000 with her family. She holds a bachelor's degree from the University of Florida and is a licensed title agent at her family-owned company, Majesty Title Services, which was the winner of the 2011 Small Business of the Year Award with the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce. She's actively involved in Emerge Tampa Bay and is currently serving as the 2015 program chair. Erin, welcome to the show today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So first off, Erin, tell me a little bit more about what Emerge Tampa Bay is.
I could talk for days about Emerge Tampa Bay.
Well, I want to hear about it because I'm still learning about it myself, so you got to fill me in here.
Good. Well, thanks for having me on to chat about Emerge. So Emerge is actually the young professional arm of the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce. Our membership is composed of young professionals ages 21 to 35, and we really focus on a couple of different areas, professional development being one of them, public policy, so civic engagement, community involvement through community outreach, engaging our members with different nonprofits. And I have to tell you, this organization has been an incredible resource for me. We're going into our 11th anniversary, actually, so we celebrated our 10-year anniversary last year. The organization was actually formed in 2004 by a woman by the name of Deanne Dewey Roberts, and unfortunately, I never had the pleasure of meeting Deanne. She passed away a few years ago, but from what I've learned, she was just an amazing woman with a vision, and she partnered with the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce, and the idea was, how do we keep young professionals, talented, creative professionals here in Tampa? How do we keep them here? How do we keep the millennials here and not leaving this city to go to other cities like Charlotte and Denver and Nashville and Atlanta? And so they worked together to form what is now lovingly referred to as Emerge Tampa Bay. And so Deanne worked with the first two co-chairs of the program who have actually become friends of mine and mentors of mine, Jessica Muroff, and she's with Frameworks Tampa Bay, and Michael Griffin of Vertical Integration. They were the first two co-chairs of the program. And so they really breathed life into this initiative, and it has evolved tremendously since 2004. And I've had the opportunity to be involved over the last few years through a variety of different roles. But how I actually first got involved was in probably late summer, early fall of 2011, and I realized, here I am. I just graduated from Florida a few years ago. I moved back to Tampa. And even though I went to high school here, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know where to go to get involved. I was very involved in high school. I was very involved in college. But here I was just kind of figuring out, what do I do? What are the next steps? How do I meet other people? How do I get involved with my community? How do I give back to my community? How do I have a more well-rounded life? And my dad was involved with the chamber for quite some time, and he kept saying, you got to get involved with Emerge. You got to get involved with Emerge. Well, of course, this is coming from my dad, right? So I'm like, no, I'll do my own thing. Thanks, Dad. I'll do what I want to do. And it dawned on me. I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled, and I needed more. I craved more involvement. And so I met with, at the time, the then program chair, a good friend of mine, Andrew Smith, and the then program manager at the Chamber, Ashley Ehrman. And I sat down and I said, what is Emerge? What do you guys do, and how can I get involved? And so they gave me a little background. And at the time, the leadership applications were out. And I said, I just want to jump right in, right? I don't do anything, half. I want to jump right in. How do I get involved? And they said, well, just apply for a leadership position. So I did, and I got on the leadership team. And my first year, I was responsible for planning the social events and the networking events, and that was great. I really got to meet a lot of wonderful people at the Chamber and expand my network and learn a lot about the community. And I think that's something that's great about Emerge, is it gives young professionals that chance, that access, I think, that you wouldn't necessarily have in a lot of other big cities. I don't think you could go into New York City and walk down the street and have the mayor know you by your first name. That's an incredible opportunity. And Mayor Buckhorn is at a lot of our events. Yeah. And that means a lot to us too, because he's supportive of what we're doing and he wants to keep us here, and he's working hard to do that. And that's what I love about Emerge and the Chamber. And so throughout my involvement, after my first year, I applied again, and I had the opportunity to oversee the professional development segment. And that's something that we provide to our members to really help them hone in on different skill sets outside of the office. And that committee this year is actually chaired by Richard Rippey and his vice chair, Allie St. Cyr, who we were just chatting about earlier.
Yeah, she's a realtor in my office. I, too, am a realtor. Yes, so yes. We both work at a Coldwell Banker in South Tampa, but go ahead. She's
fantastic. And Allie and I actually started a women's real estate-focused networking group, too, about a year ago. So she's great, and they've got some great ideas. And so their committee specifically oversees a speaker series. And so we have 3 budgeted big events throughout the year that focus on different professional development topics. We just wrapped up our first one that was on work-life balance and time management. And what's so great about these events is not only do you get to hear from amazing speakers who have been there and done that and can impart some knowledge, you walk away with real action items and things that you can do immediately the next day that will impact your life, your professional and personal career. So, for example, we heard about how do you make other people more effective? How can you communicate more quickly and effectively through email? What can you do to be more productive throughout your day? And you can leave there and really make a difference the next day and be better at what you're doing. And the other component of our professional development segment is something that I love talking about because it's a great benefit for our members, is our protege program. And our protege program was founded in 2006, and what we aim to do is we pair our members with seasoned executives and leaders in the community through a very structured mentoring program. So it's a 9-month program. We actually just kicked off our first session last week at the University Club. Governor Martinez was in the room, and he gave us a great talk. And we paired over 50 of our Emerge members with different leaders in the community. And it's great because you really can work that relationship. I mean, it's hard to find a mentor, right? How do you go about finding a mentor?
Yeah, I speak about that a lot on my program. Right. Having a mentor is of such value, you would not believe what having a mentor will do for your career.
Absolutely.
Are you a mentor or a protege right now?
I am a protege. My mentor is Renee Vaughn, the First Lady of the University of Tampa and President of Williams Consulting Group. And just in the few times that we've met together, I've already taken so much away from those meetings.
What are some of the things that she has taught you? I mean, tell me some of the takeaways that you've already gotten from this mentor protege program.
Absolutely. So we've talked a lot about balance because Renee does it all, and I've certainly tried to fill my plate as much as I can too. But we've talked a lot about balance too, and really, what impresses me so much about Renee is she handles it all with such grace and ease, and that's something that as a young professional I'm really working on, right? I feel like I do a lot and I fill my plate up and I love doing all the great things that I'm doing, but how do you manage it all and do it with a smile?
Right.
How do you not kind of fly off the handle sometimes when you're stressed out? And so I just love the opportunity to sit there and pick her brain, and she's really focused on helping me. Right. And that's what these mentors are doing. They're focused on helping train and grow and groom these young professionals, because we're leaders now, but we're going to be leaders in our future as well. And so we're going to be here for years to come, and they're really invested in us.
How is the program set up? I mean, how often do you meet? Is it just at your own schedule? Is there certain types of events that are structured or designed, I should say, for this program?
Absolutely. So we kick off in March, and it's a 9-month program, and we give structure to the program in that we do ask that you meet with your mentor at least once a month, and then keep that communication open through phone, through email. So we do require the once-a-month meetings, and then we have Emerge as a whole has 1 or 2 mixers throughout that 9-month program, if you will, and then we have a graduation. The graduation takes place at our annual dinner, which is called Emerging with Influence, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But we give each month some ideas, some talking points, if you will. So what do you want to focus on? What skill sets do you need help with? Do you need to be better at time management? Are you trying to negotiate a raise? Are you looking for a new job? But it's really up to the protege too to work that relationship. So not only do you have to apply for let me start again. You have to be an Emerge member, first of all. And then you have to apply for the program, and then we interview, and we really ask you, what is it that you're looking to accomplish? How do you want to be better? And when you graduate from this program, what are you going to do to give back to the community? How are you going to turn around and be useful about this? We have a SWOT analysis, a personality assessment. We give different ideas and suggestions. Maybe bring your mentor with you to an event that you're doing, maybe a presentation at work or school that you're doing.
What are some of the exciting things that you see some of the young professionals in your group doing? I mean, that's so important to any major city, and especially Tampa Bay, to retain the youth in our communities. What are some of the things that the youth in your organization are doing right now?
Oh my gosh, they're doing everything, honestly. I am just continuously blown away by my peers and what they're doing in their jobs and their industries. One of our committees that I'm really proud of is our Community Outreach Committee. And so that this year is chaired by Daniel Farmer and his vice chair, Sarah Schwerian. And what I love about that segment and what our members are doing is that they are giving back. So that segment specifically focused on connecting our young professionals with different nonprofits in the community. So really exposing our members to what needs Tampa has and how we can help those needs. So they do that through a variety of ways. They have lunch and learn opportunities at different nonprofits. They set up tours, and then they have service days as well. So that alone right there, just seeing people my age realize the importance of giving back and adding value to your community, that alone speaks for itself. I think that's amazing.
It's a great idea that this group spun off of the Tampa Chamber, which is traditionally an older networking group,
right?
Because young professionals don't network until they get in their 30s and 40s
right.
and stuff. And so this group gives young professionals in the Tampa Bay region a great resource to get out and meet their fellow peers and see mentors as well.
You're absolutely right, and that's what I love about just by virtue of being chair of this program this year. I sit on the board of directors of the chamber. I mean, I don't think a lot of people can say that, and that's incredible. And I know that, I recognize that, and I really am trying to meet everybody that I can and learn about this community. Again, more importantly, what can I do to add value to the community? Because that's what it's about, exposing our members to what is Tampa, what's the landscape here, and what can we do to make it better in the future. And I really appreciate the opportunities I've been afforded, and I don't take that for granted. I really try hard to work together and make this a better place to live, work, and play. And we've got some exciting things on the horizon, so it is a great time to be a young professional.
Hold that point. Got to take a quick break, but we're talking with Aaron Cassidy with Emerge Tampa Bay here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit AccessReverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit AccessReverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. You are not alone. That's the message you send when you sponsor an elder living in poverty. Unbound is the only international sponsorship organization serving society's oldest and most vulnerable members. Learn more at unbound.org.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Problems now northbound on 275 on the Howard Franklin. We have a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane between the hump and Kennedy, causing delays in this area. Still have a crash in Pasco on 54 eastbound near Trinity. Also a crash in Lane Lakes Boulevard north of Aaron Cutoff near Gator Lane. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Partly sunny skies today. We do have a 20% chance of rain this afternoon, and we'll see a high of 84. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 67. Tomorrow, we still have a slight rain chance in the forecast with a high of 83.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Currently talk with Erin Cassidy. She's a title agent with Majesty Title and also chair of Merge Tampa Bay, a networking group spun off of the Tampa Chamber of Commerce. And Erin, let's talk about different recognitions and the awards and ways you recognize members within the Merge Tampa Bay group.
Sure, absolutely. So a couple of years ago, we created an award to honor our founder, Deanne Dewey Roberts, and that award is referred to as the Emerging Leader of the Year Award. And so that's presented to a young professional at our annual dinner, which is called Emerging with Influence. And our first award winner was actually our first chair of the program, Michael Griffin. After that, April Monteith won. And then last year, I had the pleasure of nominating my friend Jessica Muroff, and she won. And that award is great because it really symbolizes both the character, the community involvement, the tenacity and the leadership of our members, and really honors what they've done in the community and how they've given back to it. And what's great is Chapel Roberts, founded by Deanne, actually underwrites a portion of that and gives $1,000 to the winner to donate to a charity of their choice. So it just continues that cycle of giving back. And the dinner itself is great because we really highlight the past successes of the program, what we did that year. We unveil our new leadership team, and it's just a nice celebration. We have a great keynote speaker last year. A great friend and mentor of mine, Debbie Lundberg, was our keynote speaker. And again, you always leave our events feeling like, hey, I learned something, and I can, again, implement it the next day in my job and do something with it. And that's what I think is so great about Emerge, is that we really are trying hard to groom these young professionals to be true leaders in our community. Talk about the evolution of the program. I mean, do you come into Emerge with a pathway? Is there an exit point at some point, or is this a group that you always stay within? And so talk to me about the evolution of the program. No, you're trapped forever in Emerge. I want to be young forever. No, Emerge is great, and you can come in at any level. You can be 21 and have no idea what you want to do. You can be 33 and a little more established in your career and have a leadership position. There's something for everybody. So as a member, you can join. You can get on one of our 4 committees. You can come to our events and programs and not join a committee at all. You can pick and choose. But what's great is that over the past few years, we've created this leadership journey, if you will. So as a young professional, the idea is you start in Emerge, you get actively involved, you really learn, again, about your community and what it is that you can do to help it. So what are your skill sets? What are you passionate about? Where is a good fit for you? And so after you, I guess you could say graduate, if you will, through Emerge, there's a program called Leadership Tampa. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Leadership Tampa. It's a great program also through the Chamber. And there's a lot of amazing professionals in that group, and I have not had the pleasure of doing that yet. That will be my life after Emerge. That will be something that I'll apply for. And similar to Emerge, Leadership Tampa, once you graduate from that program, has a group called the Leadership Tampa Alumni, also managed by the Chamber. So they have similar programming to Emerge as well. Again, just keeping people engaged in the community. And of course, there's that hope that you'll stay involved with the Chamber, perhaps at another committee level or another board level. We've really worked hard, especially in this past year, to bridge that gap and let Emerge members know Emerge is part of the Chamber. So you're not just here in Emerge, you can do so much more in the Chamber. You can get involved with their military council, with their policy council, with their transportation issues, their women of influence, the small business of the year, which you talked about earlier. There's so much you can do.
How are you drawing in new young professionals? Are you finding it a challenge to get young professionals to join, or are they coming to you? Talk to me about some of the challenges that you're having in getting people involved.
Sure. I think, really just sharing that message that we are here and that we can help you, and that it's a great place just to meet other people, really. And that's as simple as that sounds. That's why I joined. I wanted to make some friends in Tampa. You know, that might sound silly to people, but that's true. How do you go to meet people? You get involved in groups like this. You meet other people that are really passionate. Our membership committee this year is chaired by Jennifer Lawson and her vice chair, Christopher Brooker, and they are really working to diversify our membership. Now, because we're based in downtown, a lot of times, we have a lot of South Tampa and downtown members, so really trying to expand our reach, work more closely with the universities, right? We talked about retaining talent in Tampa Bay. We don't want people graduating from UT or USF and going back home to wherever home is. We want them to stay here in Tampa. So we're working on some initiatives to keep those students here after they graduate, whether it's through a mentoring program, an education connection initiative that the Chamber has been working on over the last year. So we're really trying hard to draw in those members and show them the value. And what's great too, at certain levels of Chamber membership, they actually offer free Emerge spots. So if your company is a Chamber member at a certain level, you are offered anywhere between 1 to 2 free Emerge membership spots. And I don't even think some companies recognize that they have that opportunity. So we're really honing in this year and making that our focus and making sure that all of those spots are filled. What are some of the upcoming events that people in the community can get involved with, both the Chamber and Emerge itself? Sure. Well, thank you for asking. We have one tonight. Tonight is our monthly Buzz event, and our Buzz event is actually our most casual and laid-back event, if you will. It really doesn't have a lot of structure like most of our other programs because it's just a networking opportunity. It's an opportunity to meet other Emerge and non-Emerge members and other Chamber members alike. So we have that monthly, the second Thursday of each month. That's tonight. Where's it's actually at the Holiday Inn West Shore from 5:30. So can anybody stop in? Actually, yes, anybody can stop in. What's great about Emerge is our programs are actually open to, with the exception of the Protege program, are open to members and non-members, and there's just, it would be a difference in price, really. But it's great. It's a great time just to mingle. I always go in there thinking, oh man, I got to get going at 7, and then I'm there till 9 o'clock, because I meet 1,000 people, and their last 2 events we had probably close to 120, 150 people at them, so I'm expecting a good crowd tonight. But we have our Public Policy Committee has an event coming up on March 20th. We're actually going to be taking a tour of Port Tampa, and then after that we'll have a debrief at the new Hablo Taco in Channelside, and then on March 23rd is our general membership meeting. So we have those quarterly, and that's really great for new members, potential members, or maybe members that are just looking to get reactivated and get engaged. So we'll give an overview of what the program does. We'll actually have Jake Austin from the EDC come and talk to us about Tampa's landscape and where we're kind of going in the future. So we've got some great things coming up. We've got a jam-packed year. It's already March, and I'm both thrilled and terrified at the same time that this year is going to be over before I know it. So I'm really trying to make the most of it, and it's just been a whirlwind of excitement so far. Wow, that's great. So, all right, and also I want to real quick. We've got about 40 seconds left, and so your parents, your family's company, I should say, Majesty's Title 2011 Small Business of the Year award winner in this group. Tell me real quick. I mean, what did that really help your business grow with
with that award?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was an incredible process. When we were nominated a couple years in a row, actually, and then finally really went through with the application in 2011, and how amazing and rewarding that experience was. Like I think I was telling you earlier, I felt like we were at the Academy Awards that night when we won, but it gave some great publicity to our business and some exposure, and I can't talk highly enough about that program of the Chamber.
Congratulations on that. And learn more about the Emerge over at tampachamber.com, and also more about Majesty Title over at majestytitle.com. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
For father and son. And my son John and I believe in treating our customers the way we want to be treated. That's how FAS has become the most preferred window and door company in Central Florida. FAS offers competitive pricing on top brands like Symington, Anderson, Softlight, Provia, and PGT, just to name a few. FAS has the largest selection of entry doors, French doors, and sliders from which you could choose. So visit our showroom in Tampa on Anderson Road to experience our fine products firsthand. Or go online to schedule a free, no-obligation estimate. Act now and receive rebates of $55 on windows and $95 on doors. Our family can help you in every step of the way to reduce energy bills, prepare for hurricanes, and beautify your home. Visit our showroom or schedule an appointment online at faswd.com. That's faswd.com.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
We are now seeing pockets of slow traffic in Pinellas County on 275 northbound from 375 to 54th Avenue North. Still have a crash in Pasco on 54 eastbound near Trinity. Also a crash on Land O'Lakes Boulevard northbound north of the Aaron Cutoff. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Needlewick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Your weather for today is showing highs in the mid-80s with a 20% chance of rain later in the day. Tomorrow we're looking at a high around 84, once again with a 20% chance of rain. 1250 WHNZ Impact Radio.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. If you're just tuning in, we were just talking with Erin Cassidy. She is the chair of Emerge Tampa Bay and also a title agent over at Majesty Title. And now it's time for the weekly segment, the Remodeler's Corner, with Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company. Jim Yeager has 42 years of experience in floor covering and home remodeling. Yeager & Company is celebrating its founding 70 years later and appears in multiple categories for the past 7 years by Angie's List Super Service Award. Yeager's is the best shop-at-home flooring company in the Tampa Bay market. Yeager & Company is not a here-today, gone-tomorrow type of company, and they have been around since 1944. He's also joined in studio with fellow plumber, Charlie the Plumber, Charlie Palavita. Charlie and Jim, how are you guys doing today?
Good morning, Jamie. Doing great. Yes, another beautiful day to be alive in America, Jamie. Yeah. And it's a good day to be dead if you're a terrorist rat bastard, so kill him when you can, sir.
Tell us how you really feel, Charlie.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? Where the world is now, it's a really, we're in turmoil. I mean, we're having these murders going on in 60 different countries around the world, and this is why we need a strong military, Jamie. I mean, freedom is not for free, and I'd like to give my condolences to the families of the 7 Marines and the 4 soldiers that died in that helicopter training
Yeah,
accident.
I was seeing that just yesterday. Some bodies were washing up on the shore last night and into this morning. I mean, what brought down the copter? I think, was that just weather, or do we know yet, or what happened?
I don't think they really know yet. My heart goes out to them, their families, and you know what? What these guys go through, what they train for to keep us free. This is why we should always support the military. Whether you support the war or not, always support our military. And you know, my brother Jim Yeager over here, he's a Marine also, and I like to call him, he's my slightly older, much better looking Marine Corps brother. Hey, he's a great American, just not because he's a Marine. You know what? Being a business owner, creating jobs, keeping people working so they can feed their families. You know what? I look up to Jim. He's my mentor. You know, he's somebody that over the last
3rd generation contractor. I mean, it's incredible. You know, and the jobs that he's created in the community. You know, that was the inspiration. You know, for doing my show, is to give back to the community and highlight the business owners and the entrepreneurs that that are making our community. I mean, Jim, your company 3rd generation. I mean, tell me a little bit more about the history of Yeager and Company.
Well, in flooring for 3 generations, and it's a challenge to be in business today because you need people in order to make a business successful, and then to try to teach the culture to people outside of the family is difficult, but it's doable. It just takes a lot of people.
Right. I mean, you got a big warehouse up in Odessa with you got a great showroom, great flooring products, and how many people are you employing right now up there?
We have, I believe, at the current time, 25 employees. We started out of a bedroom, when we came into the Florida marketplace, and so it's grown quite a bit. Plus, we have about, I'd say, maybe equal amount of subs that have been with us for at least 12, 13 years, as well as our associates like Charlie.
Charlie's one of the subs, and very entertaining as well.
That's why it's called Yeager and Company. It always has been, and others, other associates, because in most construction businesses, there's a lot of other fields that need to be addressed, that you can maintain your reputation, stay on time, make sure all the proper licensing, insurance, and proper work ethics.
Now, your company was started in Philadelphia, correct?
Correct. It was founded in 1944.
1944. And what brought your family into the Tampa Bay region? How long have you operated in this area?
The business in Philadelphia, actually, my father had sold his part to a big outfit up there called Big Marty's. And we started down here in 2000, and I think it was 2001, right? 2001, 2002, with this corporation in Florida. So, we've worked hard to get to where we're at today, and we just continue to add different things to construction, remodeling, kitchens, baths, and
what type of things do you specialize? I mean, your website YeagerFlooring.com, but you're not just a flooring company, so don't let people out there in the public, if they go to the website, let that throw them. I mean, what type of projects does Yeager and Company specialize in?
Well, flooring still is our major part of our business. That's kind of where everything begins. What we found over the years, that when you're in doing floors, a lot of times, the people need painting work, they'll need bathrooms, kitchens, you name it, anything that's in the house. And usually when you get 4 or 5 businesses in a home that aren't connected, it becomes very chaotic, and it tends that whatever goes wrong from whatever one entity that went wrong, everybody then suffers from it. So we found that it's a lot easier to take care of doing everything in the home, and then bringing in individuals like Charlie in the plumbing and Raul in our electrical end, and we use Bay Area Glass, Jasper, and we have a whole group of people that we just kind of merge in on the property, take care of the issues and remodeling needs that are done, and it's all done under one, direction, which is
Charlie. How long have you been in business as a plumber?
Well, going on 22 years. I've been a master plumber now, I guess, going on 22 years. I'm becoming to be one of the senior master plumbers out there, and I learn stuff all the time, though. It's something that you got to keep abreast on the new products that are out in the market, and it's always changing. But getting back to Jim's, I'll tell you what, Yeager and Company, they do some of the most beautiful work. I've worked for a lot of different contractors over the years, but they really give their customers a good quality, top-of-the-line product from, the average house up to these multi-million-dollar homes. And some of these bathrooms we put in and kitchens are just incredible.
How did you all first connect? How did you all meet and become?
I think it was a Marine Corps license tag.
Yeah, on the back of my truck, one of its general contractors, Rich, saw me going down State Road 54 by 41, and he saw the number on my truck and gave me a call and said, "Hey, you're a Marine," and I says, "Well, Semper Fi, yes, I am." And he says, "My boss is too." He says, "I got to get you hooked up with Jim Yeager," and it was just a happenstance kind of thing, and I talked to Jim on the phone, and I loved him right away. How can I not love him? He's my Marine Corps brother.
Right.
You know what? We're all family, and we take that to heart. And not that any of us are perfect, but you know what? Once a Marine, always a Marine, and you know what? I take that to heart, just as Jim does. And
so I'll ask you each, what sets you apart from your competition? Jim, you first in Yeager and Company. What sets you guys apart from your competition in your eyes?
Well, I mean, we do whatever it takes to make sure the customer's happy, and that's a very expensive statement because if they're not happy, we're just not going to be happy. So a lot of people say stuff like that, but seldom do anything about it. Actually, yesterday we just started and ripped up a floor that was put in August. It was put in a neighborhood where we knew there was moisture issues. We used all the proper materials. We had all the proper warranties, and the floor failed. Rather than go through and start a painful process of pulling a board here and a board there, we went in and ripped it all out, putting in new floors. It's pretty much on our dime. I mean, we'll hope to recoup some money from the manufacturers, but the manufacturers are, in a lot of industries, they love saying things and not following up on what they say. So, in a nutshell, would be total customer satisfaction.
Yes, and I've seen that in action. I mean, you help our office, our real estate office, a number of times with, even when you're not going to get the job, we'll call you and ask you for advice, and you take the time to make sure, that, we're satisfied, even when we aren't able to pay you anything, and we're just calling you on behalf of a client that has, brought in another contractor to do a job. And so I thank you for that, and it's something that you take the time to really explain, the process to us. So, you do a great job on that, and so I definitely can tell the consumers out there that you're definitely a man that takes your work very seriously and are willing to do whatever it takes to make the customer and the consumers happy. Charlie, what sets you apart from the other plumbers out there in your business? Talk to me about your work ethics and all that.
Well, every job we do, we try to do it like it's the only job we're doing. We want to do it and make the customer happy. We're not going to be happy until the customer's happy. We try to have a good relationship with the customer. We try to treat them like family. I love people, and I like to go out there and provide this service for them. And
what's the most common call you get as a plumber? Is it always the leaking toilet, or what are you getting called out to these homes for all the time?
You know what? You get it all. You get the leaks, you get the water heaters, you get the reverse osmosis systems, garbage disposals, stoppages. It's the industry is wide and vast, from new construction to the remodeling, and I do a lot of things besides even the remodeling with Jim, but the remodeling jobs that he does, I tell you what, that's most of them are the high-end jobs, and which is really good because you got to treat things with kid gloves. We go in there, we protect everything.
A couple issues I've gotten hit with in the plant. It's happened to me on 3 properties now. Is the repiping of the pipes under the ground to the meter and stuff. That's happened to me on 3 properties now.
Slab leaks.
Well, the first was at Rosewood Gardens, where I'm the president. I own 2 units in there, 48-unit development, and the place was converted from apartments to condominiums back in 2005. About 2 years later, we all get a special assessment because the pipes underneath the entire building, needed to be replaced. It was Marburg piping, I think it was called, which was like rolled felt paper or something.
Oh, no, it's Orangeburg. It's
Orangeburg, there you go. Marburg's a virus, by the way. Yeah,
and it's been obsolete since the 60s, but we're still pulling some of that out of the ground, Jamie, to this day. They did that because of the war effort, because all the metals were going into making
I was wondering why they would do that. Why would you put some type of substance that would obviously break down over time versus a metal or a plastic, which would be much more long lasting than this. Essentially, it was rolled paper, but the stuff was collapsing and nothing could get out of the development and stuff.
Oh yeah, so that building must have been built before the '60s. I mean, like I said, in the Sixties that became obsolete. It was illegal to install it. Just like the terracotta pipe, but the clay pipe will last for 1,000 years, but the problem they had with that are the cement joints that would leak water, and roots would grow to the water source, and they would actually grow inside the pipes. So
how can homeowners that are buying properties protect themselves against something like that? I mean, does a basic home inspection or a plumbing inspection, can you really determine because that's a big repair? I mean, that's $5,000 or more depending on the property.
Certainly, the age of the house has a lot to do with it. Now, if it's built prior to the '60s, right, then you may want to have somebody come run a camera down there to see what type of pipe it is. For example, built after the '60s, you don't have to worry as much. That we went to basically PVC, and but there are some areas that the older areas where they still have some of this piping. They have some old galvanized piping, for example. But all types of pipes can give you problems. Even the copper tubing gets pinholes in it for one reason or another. It could be electrolysis, it could be lightning strikes, it could be installed improperly, it could be a galvanic reaction.
Yeah, and I had I have a property in central Tampa, and I had to have all the pipes redone. And how do you? And I'm still having some issues with that property. It's a rental property of mine, and I think some of the problem is underneath the slab of the home. I mean, we replaced the pipes that are in the yard up to the meter and stuff. Had to dig the hole and everything. But how do you get those pipes that are up underneath that slab underneath the home? I mean, how do you get to those?
You do have to re-water pipe. You basically have to, whether it's slab on grade or whether the house is up on the ground, every house has to be evaluated separately because they're all different. And you have to find a way to get the new pipes inside of the house. For example, years ago, and they're still replacing the polybutylene. It was a type of potable water piping made by the Shell Oil Company, and the joints failed. And this turned out to be the largest class action settlement I guess it was before this oil spill.
Yeah, I've had a few properties, my foreclosed properties that I sell have that polybutylene piping issue. The pipes, they just bust, randomly almost. It's hard to predict.
Correct, and the joints would fail. Well, anyway, even we would rewater pipe them with the CPVC. Even some of the copper tubing has failed for, like I said, in certain areas because of the aggressive water. And certain other
what homes are most affected by the polybutylene piping? Is there a certain location or a certain age of the home?
It's all the tubing is. It's.
But which homes were affected? Was there a certain year when that product was on the market, and a lot of homes? Because I think after 1995, I think that product was eliminated from the market.
Yeah, correct. And they're still doing settlement cases for that now because they're still having some of these products that fail. Some of them were put in trailers, some of them were put in the manufactured homes, some of them were put in regular houses and commercial buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And
to replumb a house, I mean, that's like a $10,000 job for a basic, 1,500, 2,000 square foot home. We just did one, and it was like, I think, $8,000 sometime last year that we replumbed when the banks had to.
Yeah, what it is, they had a nylon type fitting in there, and these fittings are crimped. That's how they're sealed, and they would fail. And then they went to a copper fitting, but the crimping joints would fail. And another thing, when they ran these up into the attic, rodents could actually chew through the tubing and cause a leak as well. So if you got a squirrel up in your attic, they could actually chew through the tubing and create a leak. So there's a lot of inherent problems with that particular product.
That's a great tip. Got to take a quick break, but if you're just tuning in, we're on the Remodelers Corner here with Jim Yeager and Charlie Palavita here on that business show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their Shop at Home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
We are still seeing delays northbound on 275 from the hump of the Howard Franklin to Kennedy. Southbound delays from I-4 to Howard, Armenia. Watch out for a crash in Pasco on Land O'Lakes Boulevard northbound. At Gator Lane, the left lane is still blocked. And a crash in Mango now on 574 at Mango Road. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamston, Uterwick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Partly sunny skies today. We do have a 20% chance of rain this afternoon, and we'll see a high of 84. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 67. Tomorrow, we still have a slight rain chance in the forecast with a high of 83.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Catch the show on weekdays here at 8 a.m. and also learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Talk with Jim Yeager and Charlie Palavita here on the Remodeler's Corner, a weekly feature every Thursdays at 8:30. And Charlie, you had an interesting story you were just talking to me about in the paper today. Tell me a little bit about what you're saying there off the air.
Yeah, this is in the Tampa Bay Times. They got this great young American. He's a Marine Corps veteran, and he's honorably discharged from the United States Marine Corps. He's from Austin, Texas. His name's Patrick Maxwell. And what happened, he was a fighter. I mean, he was sent over to Afghanistan or to Iraq to fight the bad guys. And all of his time over there, he never got a chance to actually confront the enemy because they were always hiding. And anyway, when he came back here, when he got out of the service, he found out that he could actually he touched base with the Kurdish security forces over there about going over there to fight ISIS because he saw all these atrocities that they're committing, and he felt that it was his duty to go back over there to go kill the bad guys.
So he was already he was honorably discharged. He was honorably discharged from the military, and he went back over. Okay?
And he went back over. He joined as a civilian, and it's the Merja, it's the security forces over there in Kurdistan, and he felt like you know what, that was his thing to do, to go help protect the innocent people over there from being beheaded, from being crucified, from being burned to death. I mean, the atrocities that are going on over there are just, as people know, you could look it up on the internet, and ISIS has made videos of these things, and they're just horrific. And like I was telling you before, one of the worst things I saw on the internet was a little 6-year-old girl that the ISIS just beheaded. They held her lifeless little body up. She was in a pair of tights and a little dress. And let me tell you what, Jamie, that wanted I wanted to yell, scream, and cry all at the same time. And with these atrocities that are going on, I feel a need to go over there and do this. I think we need to have a group of private citizens to go over there and nip this in the bud, since, the United States is doing very little about this. The world really needs to come together to go over there and stomp this out once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I absolutely agree with you. I mean, now the person that went back overseas and stuff, I mean, he just got in a plane and went over there and he joined a civilian group over there, or how does that work? I mean, you can't just, roll back into the armed forces like that. I mean, talk to me about that.
He is a civilian. Yeah, he went over there and he hooked up with the Kurdish security forces. And,
okay.
And they're the ones that were going after ISIS. And now we have some other countries that are going after them, like Jordan. They pissed off the wrong Muslim. I mean, they pissed off the king of Jordan, which he actually trained with the Green Beret over here. He is a true warrior. And I think that the Muslim nations, as well as, the other nations from around the world, we need to get together and go over there and stop this terrorism. I mean, hey, it's going on in Africa. Boko Haram, Hezbollah, Hamas, Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, nothing. The administration just keeps making excuses. They really do not have much of a plan for defeating ISIS. I can definitely see that, and definitely all the talking points and all the news that I watch every evening. And so, I mean, how do you defeat an enemy like that, though?
This is World War III. This is just as isolated over in the Middle East. This is all over the world. To defeat an enemy like that.
It's hard to defeat an enemy that doesn't have like a central, point, like a country. This is just a bunch of militants that operate in and around these countries, and it's just so difficult. I can imagine for our armed forces to do it effectively versus an all-out, assault on.
Well, what? Eric Holder thought it's like a law enforcement issue. I'd like to see Eric Holder go over there and arrest him. How about that, Eric Holder? You think you're going to go read them their Miranda rights? You know what? Hey, the only way to get rid of this, you got to kill them. You got to kill them. Kill them. Don't kill them with kindness, guns and bullets. This is what they understand. Marie Harf, the State Department spokeswoman, says, maybe the root of the problem is they don't have jobs. What do you mean they don't have?
Yeah, I heard that. Yes,
you can't get the people over here jobs.
Yeah, that comment right there just shows how disconnected the administration is from the problem. I understand.
You know what? That was a Saturday Night Live skit. Come on, get real. They don't have jobs. You know what? The people over here don't have jobs. It's because of this stinking government we got that's so demanding on our court. You know what? They're not business friendly. We got the highest corporate tax rate, 39.1%. How about lowering the corporate tax rate to nothing? How about bringing the corporations back over here? How about stop sending the jobs to China? Let's start manufacturing jobs over here. I'm sick and tired of outsourcing everything. Hey, try to outsource plumbing. I'm going to call India for a plumber. I'll be right over. Yeah, right.
Well, tell us
what I really think?
Tell us how you really feel, Charlie. So, great.
Well, I think we got the enemy in the White House. And I can't wait till this next 2 years is over. Let me tell you what. He's done everything wrong to irreparably harm our country, from Obamacare.
Well, you've only got 2 more years with him. We got to control the House and the Senate now, so 2 more years. We'll see if the Republicans can take control of everything.
Let's not even talk about the national debt, $18 trillion and counting. I told my buddy Mike Steinberg, I says, well, who's counting? He says, well, you are.
All right, I got to roll out, Charlie. We can talk for an hour about this, no doubt. Jim, real quick, how can people get in touch with Yeager and Company?
Ring.com. We're at the West Pasco Industrial Park off of Route 54 in Odessa.
YeagerFlooring.com. Jim, thank you very much. Charlie, thank you very much as always. Also, thank you to Aaron Cassidy as well with Emerge Tampa Bay for a great show today. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m.